Dire team pick. Complexity's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Dark Seer.
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Lone Druid.
Complexity's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And we're back for Game 3 in this best-of-5 showdown, the first major match between the new Digital Chaos and Complexity Gaming. Tied up 1-1 in a best-of-5, the winning team scheduled to come to Los Angeles this July for the Summit 5. I'm LD, and I have the honor to be joined here today by Grant, and Merlini. Gentlemen, Grant, and I'll start with you as the draft is going pretty quickly. Who did you have favored coming into the series, and what are your thoughts right now as we get underway with game number 3?
For me, it was who won the first game. I was gonna have favorite, and I mean that was Complexity, and then I saw DC just turn around, and I mean that was pretty much a stomp game too. But I think I still like. They've been playing Tier 1 international teams for quite a bit now, while DC has been playing. I mean, the North American teams in ball game playing regional and international games, but so far, I mean it's dead even. So I had Complexity though.
All right, well. DC got the Phoenix. Does that change anything for you?
It kind of does for me. They also got the Lone Druid, and we've seen, I believe, Weeha's been playing it middle a lot, and it with great success. If I was a stats person, I'd say like 90% win rate.
Seems a bit high.
I mean,
there's not many. I don't even think like IO at TI3 had a 90% win rate.
Like UB probably has some just because they went on a ridiculous win streak, but Digital Chaos probably doesn't have a 90% win rate.
This is why you're not.
No, I meant Weeha's Lone Druid. They're saying he can't beat like Sunbeam middle with his own Druid 9 out of 10 times. That's what I'm saying.
That's not
that's not
90% win rate.
He has 9 out of 10 is 90%, right? Wins 9 times out of 10 games is 90%.
Wins the lane or wins the game?
The game. And the lane.
He's not versus Sunbeam 10 times.
I can't. I don't know if you guys know how stats work. I don't know.
You just cracked me up when you were like 9 out of 10. It's 90%, right?
That is correct.
That is correct.
Thank you.
But I mean, I think the point is well taken that his Lone Druid is really good, and it's definitely certain for Complexity that they don't have the Phoenix to deal with it, and DC not only have the Lone Druid but have the Phoenix with it as well.
Moo played it last time.
Reserve time.
They have the option. I mean, they can run it with multiple different players. The other nice thing is you get the Lone Druid. It's like, all right, maybe they're not going to ban as many Moo heroes, so then we can actually pick a Moo hero later if we want in the draft and throw them off kilter a bit.
What's the chance we see a Weepo?
A Weepo?
This series?
I have heard from multiple people they will never be picking that in a serious match for now, at least.
Really?
From
Any particular reason?
Sources. No, it's just not a good hero. It's just like their Leshrac after. I mean, it got played last time. It's the same reason. It doesn't fit in right now with the whole we want to win by 20 to 25 minutes, push your base. He gets levels quick, 1 death, and
sounds like a terrible hero. If that's the case.
I mean, you saw the Leshrac. You guys casted it. I mean, that's pretty much what happened there. He had 1 death, like 2 deaths in lane, and 1 in a team fight, and the game was just over.
Well, Bane comes out for Complexity, a hero that we were seeing a lot more of in the Manila Major qualifiers and pretty much across all regions. It kind of became like that, can't get like a Bounty Hunter or Earth Spirit type hero, then Bane was the go-to. Not quite at that level of popularity with the NA teams, but Complexity getting a very strong and reliable source of lockdown now, as well as something that can at least somewhat slow down the bear in fights a bit.
Yeah, enfeeble. especially late game against anyone, and then sleep. Bane just has 3 real skills. The problem is I don't really know what the problem is. 0.
There's no problem.
2 single targets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
his
true.
issue.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing with him is he's super good in lanes, especially in like 1v1 lanes where he just shows up and makes it 2v1. He can super trade with his brain set, which is really good, but I think you're right. Mid-game, like, he's dependent on his ult and sleep, which are counterable skills.
Yeah, Lone Druid Bear can like kind of own him in fights too. Sure, you can enfeeble him, but you can just always cancel his ultimate. You can
Yeah.
just screw up his position really badly with his roar too. He's just very vulnerable because he's not super long range.
Lion.
So Lion now the grab by DC. They get some really good burst here, and I mean, I think that was the big thing that we saw in game number 1 is they only had Moo on the off-lane Sand King, and he didn't get help, and he had a tough lane. This time around, they secure a very reliable source of lockdown and potentially a fast Blink
10
Dagger
seconds
initiation if
remaining.
Misery has a game like he did last time around. So
I think this is a hero that can punish swindles.
5
Like last game, they had a
seconds
Shadow Shaman. He is okay in lane, but he does have the on the upper end. He can
Reserve
disable
time.
hero for a very long time, which is very good in the 3-on-1 situation.
actually, that's a really good point as well, because game 1, Swindles was Darkseer, and they had Shadow Priest, a Dazzle, and a Gyrocopter, I think.
That was
Say like no kill
awful.
potential on a Darkseer.
yeah.
Ooh, and there's the Alchemist, wow.
Actually, busting out the Alk, Grant. Talk to us about him.
I don't know. He gets an armlet. I think Midas is out of the pool now. He gets an armlet and a radiance by 15 minutes most games, and you hope you win team fight that point. Your Alchemist does die and feed away like 1,500 gold. I mean, it's kind of like an eggs in one basket kind of thing with Alchemist, so it's just scary, especially with an Oracle.
Yeah, normally when we see the Alk, he is given
Reserve
extreme farm priority compared to a lot of the other cores, so maybe looking for something that can fight a little bit earlier to pair with him to round out this Plexi draft. Already do have their supports. I know you like AA versus Alk, Ben, but
I think-
DC already have their supports.
I think DC like the other route, which is just pushing him down early, forcing him to come into fights, and then limiting his timer. If you can take down the T1 mid very early, then you can slow down his radiance by, say, a good 2 to 3 minutes. And similarly for the side towers. So if you push down towers, you can limit his farm and then just end the game before he gets relevant.
DC going back to the Moo Bat Rider here, it looks like.
I got one question. How does the Lone Druid Alchemist like matchup play out, Ben?
I have not really seen it.
I assume Lone Druid it's reasonably well, unless there's a Bane in lane, which I guess there probably will be early.
Yeah,
10
Lone Druid should do very
seconds
well.
remaining.
It's just annoying because Acid Spray, because you naturally don't buy that much regen.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's fine for Lone Druid. 2 heroes better.
They'll
than
probably
one
just have a
velocity.
Phoenix sunraying him the whole game anyway.
Yeah, might as well. So how do you feel about that spell? I mean, do you think they just need to remove the pure damage type from it and it's fine, or I mean, it has to get changed somehow? Hell of a spell.
Yeah, something about it.
It just seems a little... I feel like just tweaking the numbers would be okay. I don't know if you need to remove the pure damage aspect
I think you can
necessarily.
tweak the range of it, because if it's not as long range, because the downside of Sunray is that he takes a lot of damage, which not many people realize because he's always super far back and he has Trinkle.
You often don't even have vision on him, like
Yeah.
if it's nighttime, for example.
So if you lower the range on it, then it kind of makes him like you have to put yourself out there
10
to actually do
seconds
damage. Right now, I think it's like way too safe, especially on high ground. You sit behind your T3, you cast Sunray,
5
everyone
Everyone
swings
dies
away.
or backs.
Yeah, but it's just low risk, high reward.
Reserve
But
time.
I don't know. That's by far his best
10
ability. His other
seconds
abilities are not that great. Supernova's decent, but Sunray is still king.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it was just a little bit ago when people weren't even skilling it. They were just
Dire team
W.
pick.
how foolish Dota players can be sometimes.
So DC last pick, now they banned out a Lifestealer, which they already had decent tools for dealing with.
It's good for Lone Druid. If you want to stop the high ground seed from Lone Druid, or even just stop his bear, you can just right click him a few
10
times, steal 200 health with
seconds
one hit.
And the
Whoa.
Jakiro.
Complexities turn
Yeah.
So it's
pick.
the carry Jakiro?
I think it's
Is that
the
the-
carry Lone Druid. Off
I-
flame bat.
So-
Oh, it could be Weehat.
Think?
Isn't it
I think it's Weehaw Lone
Jakiro?
Druid.
I think it's Weehaw
Resolution doesn't play
Jakiro.
it. What, Resolution doesn't play Lone Druid. It has to be Weehaw Lone Druid.
10
Then who's playing
seconds
Jakiro?
remaining.
That's what I mean. I think it's Resolution.
I think it's we playing it.
I,
5 seconds
I,
remaining.
I just so Resolution plays Lone Druid. I actually
I mean,
haven't
could
seen
it could it just be a? It could even be a support this game, right? If they wanted to run like a mid bat and off lane Phoenix, maybe.
Ew.
In a dual lane?
Off lane Phoenix.
No.
No.
It gets fun. Week. and it can't go to the jungle.
I think it's.
So that's what your Jakiro's for.
I think it's Ouija.
I
The
really
birds-
still
the
think it's
birds
Weehawk
can help.
Lone Druid. I don't
Sure.
know.
See,
I'll go silent for.
it could go a
first
lot of
3
ways.
minutes of this cast if you're right.
No, that means you just gotta go
Oh.
and get food or something. That's not fair to me. That's...
No,
But
then I
he's
have to
gonna
listen
he's
to you.
gonna boot up another. He might actually go into Overwatch, man. He was playing Hearthstone when the draft started, but
You gotta get your
They needed a break to quote unquote review the replay. That's
not what they
Seconds
said. That's what Swindles was asking. If there was
That's what they said.
schedule
No,
replay.
he was asking if they
He
had
was
time
asking.
to.
Oh, okay.
He was instigating that might be with DC.
Yeah, there was a little salt there, but it's good.
All
This is
right,
Dota.
Come
Yeah, I was
on,
wrong.
guys.
no,
come
but to be fair,
on.
they could swap. I've seen the mind games before, and they swap back in.
Yeah,
Actually, they got Ben with the mind games just yesterday.
Yeah,
I believe.
see?
hit me.
He got
They got
completely
me.
juked.
I'm gonna message him. Please swap. It's for me, dude.
Just do a quick double swap.
No, I guess you're right. I just don't like carry Jakiro. You're so focused on pushing towers early. If you fail, don't you just lose?
Yeah, but that's why you just win. That's their strategy. That's
Oh,
their
you just
mentality.
win.
They have a winner's mentality.
That's
No
good. We
risk,
talked
no
about that.
reward. Yeah.
We talked about
You-
that with FDL. You gotta pretend you're gonna win every game. Well, not pretend. You have to think you're winning every. You have to
That is
win
a
every
loser's
game.
mentality. So you're
Okay,
saying
yeah.
you have to pretend you're gonna win.
We actually won 2-0.
5
We're
seconds
good.
remaining.
Just one more game, guys.
We're doing it. All right, we're underway, guys. It is our game number 3. I almost said deciding, but game 3 in a best of 5, so it could still be a lot of Dota yet to be played. As Z-Freak already with an ion shell, heading straight down to the bottom lane, gonna allow him to easily win any sort of ward battle. Get close, and we're gonna see the Phoenix TP there as well, along with Misery. So we saw 4 TPs for wards in game 1, the 1 in game 2, and we're now gonna see 3 in game 3.
It's fun seeing the ward battling. And like you said, 4 TPs game 1, 3 TPs this game.
And no wards placed.
No
yet.
one's plays it. Yeah, they're all like, I don't want to get mine countered.
That's feels bad, especially with how much the wards give you now. A lot of golden experience.
It's rough for me seeing like Complexity and DC both have like these 20-minute drafts because your Alchemist is going to be the most farmed in the game by far, and then you have a Puck like they're single
30
coring it,
seconds to
Complexity and DC.
So yeah, I guess how many games does Resolution have on the Lone Druid, by the way?
I can check.
Because it's usually one of the other two. So I think that may have caught Complexity a bit off guard as well. I'd be curious to know that.
I mean, it caught me off guard. Pretty
I mean,
smart,
you're
know.
an
My
expert.
IQ, I bet a 55 IQ.
He has played it 3 times.
The battle
Competitive
begins.
history.
3 times in
It's
history.
not much. He is. I mean,
That is really.
He's also
low.
played Bloodseeker 3 times.
okay. Well, that's how much he plays it
And
then.
he's played Pugna twice, so he's played about as much Lone Druid as he has Pugna.
And he's played
Pugna.
Anti-Mage twice.
Wow, that's really low
Yeah,
for.
he plays...
Hey, he was a mid for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's gonna be
Can
a
play Lone Druid.
carry lane Alchemist.
Yeah, so Chessie heading down, it looks like, to the safe lane. They're going to run the Puck mid.
Oh yeah, Puck's really good versus Jakiro mid. I forgot that because you can dodge Liquid Fire and waste his
And
cooldown.
he has no regen on the Jakira too. I think Limp sees that right now.
Yeah, we probably going to try to bait out that fire, I suppose, if we can, but
Dwindles in trouble already.
not again. Swindles what it is low. Goes for the quick TP out, and line stun already used, so good calm under pressure, but already getting punished here. It is 3 heroes committed to that, though, so base.
This game is just super weird to me already. I did not expect these lanes or heroes at all, and who's getting gone on? He's gonna take a lot of damage though.
Z-Freak, only scaling up the brain sap now, only level 1, so no kill potential, but and just put a little chip damage in there. And yeah, we can see Limp already 6 and 2 on Weehaw, 3 and 1, so Jakiro mid, I guess, designed to kind of punish the Alchemist is not the matchup they were expecting.
Yeah, Ben was right. The being able to dodge Liquid Fire, even starting from level 1, is actually just insane.
I mean, he'll still be incredibly useful later on for just the pushing aspect,
Yeah.
but really hurts not being able to dominate the lane, and it's actually going to take that second point in the dual breath here, which phase shift is a very low duration at the early level, so still going to take some
He baited
damage
it out
now.
right there. Nice
And then
one.
he still ended up dodging the Liquid Fire with his orb jaunt though.
Yeah. Does it again. Still takes a bit of the breathe fire damage at least, so. Yeah, with that, doing some work here on Limp. I mean, dodging a lot, and he's still getting pounded in the mid lane.
He missed the liquid fire dodge and had to salve himself, but Chicken's way back in base. And looks like Sox is actually going to go for the chicken snipe, expecting the salve to come out. This could be big.
Wait for
There it
it.
is.
Wait for it. No.
Wait, he doesn't have a salve.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
the TP.
How's he just gonna
from
have a
D3.
TP?
It's Z-Freak's TP.
There's the bottle, though.
Okay, 5 heroes to mid, guys. Time for some action.
Yeah, it's gonna come out at like 35.
Does
Okay, it's
Oh, Teal pings it out. Yeah, T already pinged out. Sock.
Oh yeah, they had that
Around.
word.
Yeah, they had the
I
word.
forgot.
Okay. I did. Get it together.
It's adorable. I love that chicken, though. How do you pronounce it? Axolotl?
With the little iguana thing.
Axolotl? I guess so. I never heard anyone try
This
to pronounce
thing?
it. Axolotl.
You think
Yeah,
that's
that's
adorable?
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
It looks derpy.
So
Yeah, that's
happy
cute.
though.
Yeah, look at him. Like, if he was delivering your items in real life and he just, like, came up to your house like a Saint Bernard, like, no. Like, 'cause they have that thing around their neck.
I'd probably be concerned.
Well, that too, yeah.
Little
After that, though.
Derpy iguanas are delivering items to my house at any time. But
Sox,
either way,
Soxa
they don't
tried
get the
to-
curse.
He's still experience from Swindle right there. That was pretty big.
Oh, this could be trouble bottom lane though. Centaur kind of running around here while they work on Mook and they finish him off just barely. Complexity hitting him with that last Purifying Flame nuke and an auto attack. So they do grab a first blood on Moo, who just went to the jungle in game number 2 and kind of had a free reign of it that way. He'd be able to do the same thing this time around. It seems he's going to try. Already the Tranquil Boot's picked up and screw that bottom lane, I'm out. But that means Alchemist totally uncontested.
Resolution gonna resummon his bear. Okay, never mind. He just did. It was taking a lot of damage. Misery smoked up, ready to punish Limp at any instant.
Oh, he's so low.
And he doesn't.
And he's used the orb to farm. This is the time. Misery creeping in. Limp gonna silence the creep wave. Oh, just out of range.
Blade.
Yeah, that was just. I mean, it's hard to. Spells up.
Yeah, that's pretty big though. Soxa. A lot of damage done here to the Phoenix top lane. Really struggling to get that easy experience as they look to move in onto Weehaw. Free just harassment for now, and well, Weehaw's the double damage runes. Yeah, they're not going.
Misery. Going on Swindles. His TP has cooled down.
Surge also on cooldown. If they get a root, this is almost certainly
There it is.
the death of the Swindles. And there's the root. The Hex not coming out just yet. Swindle's actually going to survive this one, it looks like. Even throwing the Ion Shell back the other way. Nice timely TP by Z-Freak. Bailing out his brother. And
Yeah,
going
they're
in
going
for
on
Misery.
him.
And he gets this kill. The Bear's actually blocking him a bit. Misery trying to worm his way through the wave. We'll make it out. Swindle's down to 10 HP. Really needs to just go home. He will.
He would have gotten the kill, right? If he just hexed him, it would have gave the bear and the Scylla himself another hit.
So
Maybe he just didn't want to mana or commit that far.
I don't think he got fogged or anything. So yeah.
I don't think, yeah.
Not sure. But Chessie is free farming, and this is your just standard, free farm straight into an armlet, level up the Greevil's Greed Alk. Concerned are you?
You're
Lane. Going
pretty
on
concerned.
Weehaw, they get the coil off, but instantly snapped, and they're gonna be A-okay with Soxa healing him up. So yeah, talk to me a little bit more about the Alk, Grant.
I think it's just, he's
very
actually, he
concerned.
could die here.
Oh,
Yeah,
getting run down by Moo. Moo's back with a vengeance.
not too concerned now, but no, I think if he still gets an armlet radiance by about 15, I mean, you're concerned because your Syllabear is just maybe getting his radiance, and then Alchemist can just run at you, and he has the Puck and Darkseer to back him up.
And they have the Oracle as well,
Yeah.
so they have a really good defensive support to help them be durable in the fights.
They have good heroes though versus the armlet.
They do.
So
I think
like
Jakiro's really good too.
Jakiro's really good. Phoenix is really good. Those.
This is just a really weird
Napalm.
line. Like, this is just a matchup. Both teams want to take towers, but both teams have decent tower defense.
You see now with the bottle transfer, Soxa.
Z-Freak, what are you
out
doing?
Z-Freak. Oh man, he's posted up real far here, and they're gonna swoop in on him now, letting the Sunray go. Z-Freak turning with the Brain Step. Does have the Nightmare. He goes for the Self Nightmare, but it's immediately just destroyed by an army of heroes. Now diving onto Swindles as well. Doesn't have a surge for 5 seconds. The coil has to be dropped here, but Moo keeps on running in. Ballsy aggressive maneuver. Z-Freak does not pay off as they find the kill. Doxa even continues his journey through the middle lane. They keep on posting up, but he doesn't have a swoop for a little while right now. The Icarus dive on cooldown. Weehaw try to keep Limp back, who's attempting to poke his way towards that engagement. In the end, it's Lone Druid and Alchemist now getting their free farm on, and Alchemist only about 6k, 7k ahead of the Lone Druid, who just got his Midas, so not as far ahead as you would ideally like to see with that death.
Yeah.
It's like 6 or 7,000. I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
Oh,
he's
6 or
far.
700. NA Mash, guys, we've got 9 out of 10 is
That
90%.
mine was alright, I'm just gonna get upset now.
55 IQs, now the 6 or 7,000 gold difference.
Oh, bottom lane! Misery might be dead here. 80s.
Yeah, he's in quite far as Handskin revs up with the fortunes and says see ya to Misery, so caught out too far. These teams love to counter gank. Like, if there's ever a tower dive, there will instantly be 3-4 TPs. We see it.
Yeah, and this is the perfect game for it, too. They both teams just want guy on their team to get farm Syllabear and...
Well, the mid tower's already down, and I'm not actually sure if they're going to get that reserve ward. Okay, it looks like he does ping it out in the mid lane. They're starting the pressure on bottom. Pops his invis.
Oh,
This is what they need to do.
They have a lasso as well. They're going to go in with the dual breath to start, but he's got Armlet and he's got Chemical Rage. He's going to pop them both now. Can they roast him? That out's pretty damn tanky. Oh, but he's going to stun himself. And that, with the Lion Stun, will be enough. In fact, more than enough for the kill. They do see Z-Freak now. Gets Moo closer to the Blink Dagger. Last hit being split between these heroes, but only about 500, 600 to go, so Moo really having a comeback series after a very rough game 1. Had a great start in game number 3 to go with that bat performance last time, and they want to pressure this tower on the back of it.
Yeah, does Weehaw, does he go Veil, do you think, or is he gonna go Mech?
I think he goes mech. I don't remember. I haven't seen it that many times.
I think
Mech's
super good
better
right now,
this game.
Do you think?
Actually, yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Veil's
under
really
attack.
good this game.
Yeah, I
that's
think they're
I think
gonna
they're
have.
both good, but
Isn't Sustain better though versus like Puck and Darkseer? I think they need to survive like the initial burst and then win the fight from there, as opposed to having more damage. I think they kill people with stuff.
yeah, and
I mean, you have
were
an Alk with an Armlet and an Oracle though. Like, are you sure they can burst him without a Veil? Like, if he gets False Promise, he's going to be really hard to
He's
kill.
not a big threat though if he doesn't get the Radiance in time.
Right.
And if they can pressure T2s with a mech before he gets Radiance, I think it'll be useful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
It is actually kind of a tough call, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see which way he goes.
Alternatively, he could go Yules. I don't think Yules is that bad of an idea,
Yeah,
but
I was
it's
thinking-
not as good as the other two.
they're just gonna get a free bottom tower, I'm pretty sure. They
Resolution,
test it.
going on Swindles on top. His TP is not up yet.
Walking right into the waiting arms of the bear. Nope, actually jukes away, will survive, but towers falling everywhere as Jakiro just, basically the new Dragon Knight,
Dire's
just
top tower is under
pushes free
attack.
towers every time. Doesn't even need an ult, just does it with the Liquid Fire.
They
Take that
didn't
one
use
down.
their glyph at all. That's it's one of my pet peeves. You don't use a glyph when it's free on a tier 1.
Don't you miss being able to report people as a spectator, Grant?
Wait, you can't? Or you could?
Could.
Yeah, Versuda actually reported someone one time on his stream with like
didn't they get in trouble
30,000
for
viewers,
that?
and the
Yeah.
guy got just instantly auto-banned because there were like 10,000
Dire's top
reports or
tower
something.
is under attack.
Well, someone has to be a victim for the change, I guess.
Count on Versuda. The Gamburgers.
And I wasn't sold on Shakira pick, and it's super paying off. They haven't like countered his pushing at all.
Yeah, one thing I really like about
Lasso, actually no mana for it, but Moo's just going to try to run it anyway. Has the stick charges, actually has the mana, but not opting to cast it just yet. He's going to go back for Hanskin, wants to collect that free Oracle kill, and free it is. Gets it in the end, though. It does reveal the Blink Dagger, and
Radiant's top tower is under
isn't the
attack.
biggest hero.
poor Hanskin. He's like, oh wait, I'm gonna wait for Lasso. Oh no.
Oh god.
Out of position.
Yeah, and then right when he got out of Lasso, you saw him like fake cast False Promise. He's like, I'm not gonna waste a 90 second cooldown on myself.
Takes one for the team. And DC starting to
tower
really
top
group
now.
up a lot now.
I really like DC's experimental picks in the mid lane, even though the Lesh cost them 2 games and they didn't win with it. I think that Jakiro has proved to be far more successful and a decent replacement of Dragon Knight. Oh, as actually an alternative, not even a replacement.
It was a kind of a replacement because got banned, I guess, technically.
I think he prefers the ranged end heroes, though. That's more his style.
Yeah, it does. I haven't seen him play Lena, sorry.
Yeah. Resolution out, taking down the tower. I do want to point out he went back for some infused raindrops just against all this nuke damage. Wants to stay a little more survivable. As they are surging, looking for that sleep setup, but doesn't have a Fiend's Grip ready just yet, so they go in with the coil from Limp, wants to bring down Zoxa, but Zoxa is going to live, and has now the Sunray available, getting worked on by Hanskin. He's forced to egg, but Misery there to stun him, and Moo there to turn, and suddenly Hanskin is in deep again as he's getting just mana drained during this time. Okay, well, Sunray coming out once more. They're going to be able to run down that Oracle. Elsewhere, it looks like Bane running for dear life from the lone Druid. Flame Break there, Hanskin. Space created, my man, as he continues retreating. Z-Freak also juking. These supports simply won't die. Can they kill the man? Can they kill the man? Yes, they can. And they'll also get Z-Freak too. So, Lexi, they go in deep with the coil and ends up costing them 2 supports. They do get the Lion on the way out, but overall, coming out on the wrong side of that train.
Yeah, I think and he is going the Veil though, but you're right, if like he had a mech there, I guess it wouldn't make that big of a difference. But like, we saw that the city just doesn't have burst. You're right, it's gonna be super hard to take some of DC down.
Yeah, Veil is online now, and the other thing is the Veil is just amazing with the Radiance as well, so there could be a factor here as Moo facing out Chessie and the Courier. He's like, I can't kill Chessie, but the Courier maybe, but too fast.
One play I thought was going to be sick. Misery actually killed some creeps middle and then started running to the fight top. He flew in a tome, so they thought he was level 5 when he actually turned level 6 because of it. Thought he was going to get a free like finger kill, and he ended up just dying though. So it would have been sick.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Do we have a word for that?
Not sick, but wasn't.
Yeah.
Not sick, I guess. I don't know. I don't think there's one word. And you can make one up.
I'm contemplating.
Ben had a grin on his face, but I don't know if that many other words.
I thought it was a good discussion.
Okay. I was the only one talking.
Right. Well, great contribution. We should have put you on camera. They can just look at your pretty officer face. But Moo closing on a 4-staff here, and overall state of the game, guys, seems very even as far as golden experience goes. DC are pushing towers, but Alk is also farming. Radiance is coming soon for Chessie here. Resolution's still a ways off. Hasn't even gotten the relics yet. Uh-oh. They found Misery. Ward's been planted. They just preemptive egg, but Limp pops him with ease. The egg now forced out. Complexity getting a freebie. Buys more time here now for the Alchemist, so Chessie gonna have that Radiance well before the Lone Druid. I don't know what you would expect, but a bit more on track now.
Right at 15. Yeah.
As they grip Zoxa, looking for more. Z-Freak starting to make his presence felt in this game. They'll bring him down too. Last hit go in the way of the Bane. Kills starting to roll in for Complexity now. So they get a grip on this game.
Yeah, and they have a mech and mana boots actually up on Swindle. And I think Guardian Greaves might be better than Blink first this game. A lot of stuff for Guardian Greaves to take off.
He doesn't like getting Blink. He likes getting mech pipe.
Does he?
I think Pipe's really good versus their lineup, with Dire's lineup.
Swindle's really likes just kind of 5-manning like around the team and letting someone else generally initiate. They do have the puck already. But that was the build we saw in game 1.
I'm actually super impressed how fast, like, because you expect the Alchemist to farm super fast, but Revolution's keeping up with him reasonably well. He's gonna have like the 17-minute Radiance, which is good.
Hey, what's the timing window here? At what point do DC say, okay, we need to go for Roche, we need to go for tier 2s?
It's not that big for them, or they don't need to worry about it that much because it's just an Alchemist complexity
They
side.
just can't lose. I think if they lose like something like 5-0 Complexity wipes them, then they start to worry because Hero, I mean, he starts falling off a little bit. Your Lone Druid is obviously not going to have that much farm because you want to run as 5. But I think they have a lot of time. They can take a Roche and maybe tier 2.
They can slow play it. It's not imperative. It's going to be really difficult to see high ground though versus the Bull. That's one of the huge benefits.
Both teams soon.
Yeah. Fate's Edict the Bear, and then you're like, what do we do now, guys?
You just get, whoa.
Well, Macropire getting debuted here in the mid lane will clear out that wave Roche the push, but Complexity, they're just gonna turn their attention elsewhere. They head over towards the Dire jungle, maybe even to the top tower. Seems like they're starting to feel more confident now with the Radiance up, level 2 ultimate on the Alchemist, that they could push around the Swindle Mill and Starkseer, who now goes into Arena Pelt, so we may be seeing that pipe as a response to the magic damage of DC next. And they're gonna fight this, guys. Here comes the smoke. Who do you think has the edge?
They just got Radiance. DC, just because Alchemist is just not suited for this sort of engagement.
Alright, let's see if Chessie gets punished here. Z-Freak hanging back. They're sweeping around from the rear. It's going to be Moo likely getting the jump to start this one off as Chessie is insta-rooted at the beginning of the fight. And then they're able to lock down Hanskin, keep him back so the Oracle can't save the Alchemist. He barely gets off the false promise, but is out going to be able to regen up with DC constantly laying him into with damage, not able to even heal up an inch. They get 2 kills on the back of that. The Bat Rider was sacrificed with the Alt going down. Big win there. The tower last hit goes the way of Chessie. And then into the trees. Oh, Savage Roar. Wow. Along with the Ice Pet is there to stop Z-Freak from escaping. They will end up getting another kill. So a 3-for-1 in the end with DC taking a bolt smoke top, and it's paying off hugely.
You don't want to fight with your Alchemist, really. You want to fight with Alchemist once he is able to push out the lanes with BOTs and Manta. At that point, the other team is forced to take worse engagements because their lanes are constantly pushed in. But at this point, they don't really care about
and you
the
saw
Alchemist.
Complexity use the scan like 1 second late after Dire had ran past, and they just ready for it. Z-Freak had a super sick grip right when the bat jumped in on Oracle, but besides that, it just poorly.
Yeah, the Alchemist got isolated.
Yeah, he still got the lasso off on the Oracle before the grip, though. So
yeah, it was like, there's 3 heroes doing nothing, yeah.
Everyone just kind of twiddle your thumbs for a minute here. But no false promise on Alkin is not very durable without it.
They can, I mean, if they take one more fight like that, say middle or bottom, DC just, they're Dire, it's so much easier. They just take Roche, they might just do it now, yeah. I don't know if it's smart, but I think Complexity doesn't have wards.
Yeah, they have decent vision here on the Dire. Actually, one of them expiring now. Top lane fairly pushed out, bottom lane quite pushed out as well. Mid lane at the river. I mean, can Complexity actually fight into the pit at this point would be my question. Like, how do they get in there?
A sick vacuum wall.
It's pretty risky when you don't have vision and you're up against Bat. And we just saw Alka's not feeling that strong.
They just used their scan though on Dire. It's going to expire well before Roshan gets taken down, and it will not catch Complexity's smoke. They used their scan too early. Now they feel really unsafe.
And their ward died. I think they like mistimed the scan in the ward. They're going to do the old TI2 wraparound, I think, here.
Yeah, flopping stuff would be proud.
SC is like, what is going on here? Why are they not doing it?
Why is it so low? They're just going home.
Hey, low Roche, let's go fight him, guys. But the bear comes in right away and gets to work and try to slow this thing down. They put off once. I believe he does have a resummon available. Yeah, Deed is going to pop it now as the fight breaks out in earnest with Weeha. Caught out a bit. Can they focus him down? The Jakiro has popped the macro pyre, but it's not really hitting anyone right now. Weeha is a huge hero to kill off early in the fight. Saksa is driven back. Limb trying to burst him. Can't do it either, though. So everyone's surviving for the time being. Weeha isolated from the team, but backup incoming. Ice Pet there. The Chemical Rage on cooldown. They're going to try to finish off that stinky twin head. Can they do it? The long range lob. It's under resolution, though, not onto the twin head. And in the end, both teams disengaged. 10 heroes fighting, 0 dying. We'll reset now.
Yeah, that's what he said. Neither team has burst damage. That's about it. Like, the most burst damage thing is, like, the level 1 line ultimate.
Fuck burst is decent. Now that he has Veil, he can maybe burst down the line or the Phoenix. He was really close to kill him.
Oh, they're back into the pit. Moo trying to have a scout here. Could get caught on the way out. It will be brought very low, but the Savage Roar, oh, not enough to save him. They do manage to pop that Rider. The Oracle, and a big hero in this qualifier, coming into play once again as Misery engaging, has a Finger of Death available. He's going to pop it on Hanskin, but not in time to actually get the kill. Hanskin able to false promise, and with the save from Swindles coming out, popping the pipe as well as the mech. Turn this fight around. Down a Bat Rider. Roshan at about half health. They have Acid Spray, they have an Alchemist, they might be able to take this thing, and Chemical Rage coming online along with the coil back up. Sunray though. Sunray says, hell no. They're roasting him in the pit. He's got to get out. Lip though does manage to find the Phoenix again, denies that egg opportunity. Can they finish off Chessie ever so low? Savage Roar there driving him back into a sleep. The Ice Pad, he ends to the south and said he's gonna live. Somebody kill these Complexity heroes. They can't do it, and Chessie runs right back in, setting up Weeha once more, but moves back into the fight. He's managed to pull pull Swindles into position. Swindles low, Swindles almost dead, getting mauled by a bear, as well as cooked by a Jakiro. Down he goes, a 3-for-1 there. With the Batrider dying earlier, I think a 3-for-2 in total, but DC holding position over the pit now. Should be theirs to take at this point. Albeit
He's still
slowly.
chasing Limp.
They don't have a lasso available. They do have mana for an Impale now, but Limp might be out of range. They got to keep attacks going. Phase shift, but immediately canceled, and then Misery able to gun him down with the stun.
I can't believe DC took that fight so well at the end, because Resolution's Bear died at like when the main fight happened, and he somehow they didn't have Radiance that entire fight, and they still won.
So that was a dieback on the Phoenix. So it was actually 4-for-3, but they get the Roche.
Yeah, man, I can't believe they just got the hug though. That was 6 done by Misery, calling out the phase shift.
Jakiro, I think, did a lot of damage that fight too, and Mu was very patient with his lasso. Well, I guess he died, and then came back, so I don't know how patient
if
he was.
If you didn't use it, it's the patience.
Yeah. And Jakiro he just had that multiple man ice pass at the end, constantly dumping veils on people. They even prioritized him so much that they gave him the Aegis.
Yeah, where do you go with Jakiro now, though? Do you like...
A new Scepter, I heard, is really good, but I don't know how good.
Well, he didn't even level his ult, so...
I think Yules is really good.
I think Yules, I'm surprised you went mech over it after we did first Veil, but I mean, the mech's paid off, so...
Mech makes him super tanky versus the Elk, with so much armor.
Yeah, we've seen the Puck just, like, constantly fight, and he survives the initial...
All Complexity now gonna be forced to back down a bit and go back to farming here. We'll see Chessie going into a Manta style next, see grabbing the Yasha. Oh, no Octarine Dream anymore. At least not yet.
His farm's been really slow on Elk.
He's been fighting a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's props to D. Oh, and he's charging
channeling a stun while TPing bottom. Pretty cool combo from Chessie, and then he sees Misery and he just wants to run. That's gonna leave Z-Freak to his own devices where Alliance stun greets him. He'll get mana drain and probably fingered in the face as well if needed. No, Misery gonna be patient with that one, hang on to it, and they're hunting for stragglers as they did jump Swindles. That's a huge hero to bring down Digital Chaos. They're finding key pick off Swindles down, never got to pop the pipe or the mech. And just melts. To complete on an Alk, but if your Alk is 2k ahead of a lone Druid, that's just it.
That's not, he should be quite a ways up. I mean, he can split push a lot better now. I mean, you don't get his farm this way because of the Greevil's greed, but you're still getting every creep wave, which is good, but I can't believe DC's just playing this pretty methodically right now.
And they are getting closer to critical mass. Do you guys see them being able to break the base anytime soon? They have the Bat as like a good initiator. They've got all the 5-man items coming together. The Veil, the mech we mentioned. They have a Vlad's with the Radiance. Can they go?
I think they pressure it right now.
I really think they should have. Jakiro DD, Swindle was down. They have the Aegis. I'm actually surprised they didn't.
So they're gonna play it safe, I guess. Looks like DC will back off. They get the Greaves now on Jakiro, which were inbound, and we are also gonna find a haste rune too. So. Yeah, all the good runes. Yeah,
it's like what Ben said. I mean, both teams just have one super strong late game core. So, I mean, if your Syllabears do, like, he could catch up to Alchemist eventually, and you're fine with that, because I think most people take a Syllabear over an Alch super late.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Unless your whole team gets eggs.
even so, Lone Druid can be like the aura bearer, so he's like kind of useful even past the 6 slots. So he's one of the unusual ones that can compete with the 6-slot Alk plus Moonshard plus Ags.
Yeah, Eldu's right though. I guess every hero on his team can use an Ags, which is super nice late game. The Alchemist can give him.
Yeah, the Puck one especially is really good this game.
Yeah.
Darkseer we've seen can be, I don't know, Bane Eggs. I only remember the one time Zai played him off lane and got an Eggs, like ages ago. I think that was with the old Secret, but...
Yeah,
I haven't heard it too.
I like the Oracle one's great. Especially, like, the burst damage on that hero is so insane, and the saving power with the 1-second cooldown, actually that might be it, if not Limp.
Not to mention, just tanking Handskin up is really big, because we've seen a couple of fights where he just gets caught and dies instantly, so... Extra HP could really make the difference.
Chessie top lane.
Uh-oh.
Illusions will scan him out.
Yeah, DC is starting to poke a bit. They are working on tier 2s now. They want to constrain Complexity's ability to split push, but Alk has just BOT to the bottom lane, so Chessie will not be home for this defense, which basically is forfeiting the tower mid as Shakiro lays into it. The rest of the team hanging in reserve with Misery just primed to pounce up on the high ground. Free liquid fire, taking that tower lower, but Chessie doing a good job at getting some trades and realizing they do not want to fight at the DH, at least not here. Tower down, one more outer to go.
Say anything there?
I'm just looking at like how they're gonna both prep for the late game. Lion already has his blink. Phoenix has just got his Midas. A little slow, but it's likely going to be a long one for them. Lone Druid building mass auras, which is also good if you want to transit in the past 6 slots. Jakiro, a lot of armor, fair amount of damage. I'm really curious as to what Jakiro is going to go next. That's the big one.
Is Batrider going Aghanims? He has a point booster and an Ogre sitting in base, not even on check-in. Axis? I kind of like it here because you assume coL's gonna group up a lot. They have to with their.
Yeah, or coL's almost always next to someone else.
Like it.
Here comes DC. There's a smoke from Complexity about to expire here with DC's freshly popped, but oh, Misery. His smoke pops while he's on the ref. He's like, yeah, that seems like a terrible way to start the fight. I'm just going to blink down, let someone else go at first. There's a good back wall there. Swindle's catching out 3, but is there follow-up to really get into this fight? Chessie revving up a stun, but he gets pushed back by Flamebreak. He's going to stun himself. Now the bear starts to hit him. That's right when the Chemical Rage is going to end, and he just doesn't have the HP to survive that burst. So now the Oracle down as well. Clexy desperately scattering backwards with the puck warping to the left. Z-Freak heading up, but it doesn't look like Z-Freak's going to be able to make it out. The Bane down again. 3 more kills. Clexy just not hang. DC
fighting too much with the Alk. Like DC just has way better jump. Like Lion already is pretty good, and of course they have the Batrider last. So Complexity, all they really have is like puck ult, which is not that great. They had a great vacuum wall at the start, but they can just heal right up through it with mech without anyone really to keep them in place and prevent them from getting off their spells.
They had the Guardian Greaves, so it just. Yeah, DC just, like you said, it's just way better. Like, in a single core versus single core game, the Lone Druid's so much better fighting than the Alchemist. Especially when you have a burst from DC with the finger.
Oh no, Swindle's costly time for him to die with Hop being pressured, and with the finger coming out, the follow-up there, he tries to pop those arcane boots, instantly just dead. DC grabbing another kill, tier 2 top being chipped at. They are closing in on complete map control here, guys. I think still even in terms of net worth, but that's with an Alk, so a lot of you're farther behind than what it was.
A lot of DC's success with this game hinges on their fact that they can actually play 4 Protect 1 a lot better than Complexity. Complexity, almost all of their lineups are just not 4 Protect 1. Like how often do you see them pick a Naga Siren, an Anti-Mage, even a safe lane Alchemist, as in this game? It just doesn't seem to suit their style, and the main telltale sign to me that they're not comfortable with it is that Alchemist is fighting with them all the time, and
agree.
That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have to fight with them all the time. If you do, you might as well just pick something else. And he is 600 net worth above Lone Druid.
That's insane. That's just a big props to Resolution. He is doing exactly what he needs to do. He has farmed perfectly, jungled and all that, and then just showing up at team fights with this team. No wrong this game.
One of them's 0-4, the other 5-0-9. They're even on CS here, and towers are pretty close, but yeah, the kills are telling the tale.
Look at the tower drop. Fire and bear.
And they can just keep on doing that. Put chip in, drop the liquid fire. It's basically like having an unkillable Pugna. It's pretty nice to run the twin head.
It looks like Dire is running towards Roshan. It's going to respawn in 20 seconds now.
Well, good call, Grant. It is the Ags, in fact, for Moo on the Batrider.
I like it. BKB doesn't really do much versus the puck. You're going to smash an Ags and Oracle and even Bane. So, I think.
Jeez. Jakiro's going full tank with the plate mail. That is one of the items I did
I was going to ask, is it Lotus or Shivas? I think Shivas, right?
I think Shivas.
I think because they're gonna have all 3 of the auras then.
Lotus is better for seizing high ground though. You just Lotus yourself so you can pop your liquid fire.
You would have it now if you really wanted, so I think it's gonna be Shivas.
They are hunting Chessie in the trees, trapped down and in trouble. Moo's gonna get up the last with Chemical Rage. Still has a healthy duration left, but doesn't even matter. He explodes. This Alchemist is feeling way too squishy, especially for a 4 Protect 1. DC, that was the opening they were looking for. They're going to force out a buyback here quite likely, or head straight to the Roche pit.
Complexity has too much teamwork. 4 Protect 1 does not work for them. Too much teamwork.
Too much.
Whoever thought that could be a problem?
Now that it feels like both teams picked like the same sort of strategy, and like, yeah. saying DC's just playing it a little bit better.
Yeah. The lone druid is incorporated like really well into the lineup, and they also have two heroes that can see showers, Resolution and Wu.
Oh, Limp jumping in, and Lion Stun actually goes, I think, not expecting the jump back, or maybe hoping he wouldn't get it at the right time, but either way, DC continue their siege with Misery. Hey, free mana, thank you very much, I'll take that. And the tower about to drop now, and Bear, well, they can try and stop it from attacking for a time, but it's going to eventually be able to wail on the buildings. Tower down, Range Rex, Jeopardy, the Alk about to respawn. They will sleep that Bear and try to go for something as they just annihilate Misery. Swindles not actually getting the last hit there, but that was all Limp, just going in with the Dagon, finds the kill along with the Veil, and now team for a bit more. Weehaw there with the Ice Pad though. Chessie out too far again. There's the false promise though. Cancels the last. We're going to heal him up a bit during this fight. They desperately need him to stay alive. This Alk is a huge source of damage for the team, and the false promise gets him to about 2/3 HP. But then he's got to run. Z-Freak, not so lucky. Tries to go with the Braid Stat, but going to drop in the end regardless. 5 alive for DC. Barreling down the top lane. Pushing them back with a Flame Break. Do they continue their siege, or do they back off? They want the Range Rex. They're going to force out the Freak buyback, but it's a Bane without a Fiend's Grip. Doesn't really offer that much. See? May stick around even so.
That was such a sick roar by Resolution.
Yeah,
He roared the Alchemist as he was counting down his concoction. It was like in the perfect position. It roared 3 heroes, and then there was an egg off to the side, and they just had to turn tail.
And then Moo just blinked in. He still had his lasso from that. I mean, it got instantly false promise, but they had to commit to that. And that was just super good teamwork from DC.
What happens if you purge one of the 2 targets that get lassoed?
I assume it just purges that one. I could be wrong, though.
That would look...
Because it would look really weird if it's the initial target, yeah. And then the other one just randomly getting dragged.
Oh, Chessie?
Immediately pops.
Oh, he almost got him with the roar. Close call there, dead, but they might find more. And Tanskin on the Oracle. Actually a very important hero, and he doesn't buy back 45 seconds. DC, they are already bottom with the lane pushing against them, so they may just go to Roche at this point. Looks like that will be the safe call.
And that's fine. Just keep pressing your advantage when, I mean, you're in no hurry now. Now that you've shut down the Alchemist this hard, like, they're actually in no timing window for DC. They just have the advantage the rest of the game, I think.
These items are just so slow to come out for Chessie.
There's an MKB on Syllabear. Wow.
Just hit him in the fights. Like, even at that fight, he got perfectly timed false promise. And we've seen Alks who are ahead who, like, can have, like, almost no health and suddenly be full health when that spell ends, but he's still only at 2/3, and then they just kill him or force him to run away. I feel like, I don't know, maybe time to start giving the Ags to people, because he just doesn't feel like that much of a threat.
Yeah, I think they need one on the pair. Split, like 5-second stun is just really good. They just gotta hope they win the team fight, and then without help.
Ben,
they need more farm on Darkseer. I think they need like a refresher on him, because Puck's trying to output as much damage as they can. With Veil and the Dagon, then maybe you give like the Oracle and Ags. I don't really know how effective that is. It only reduces it by 1 second, 1.25 seconds. And then Bane with Ags is kind of just not very useful in this scenario, because it'll just die to magic damage anyways, or get lassoed, or flame broken, or whatever it may be. So I think like Alchemist is almost maxed out, so the only other target that can actually do more, I think, is Darkseer, but he needs a little bit more farm. He's been playing, again, maybe too much teamwork in his item build.
The problem is, it's not really like that amazing of a Darkseer game. There's no great hero to make an illusion of. You can't make an illusion of the bear, so... I mean, maybe you get, like, I don't know, Resolutions Vlad's, but none of these heroes are really that strong on their own. It's more their abilities that make them good, so... It's tough, even if he does have way more farm.
They can combo with like coil or something. Like coil plus vacuum.
It feels like they need like the coil with the veil drop, a whole puck combo on everyone with the vacuum.
They need more split push pressure. Like DC are able to take way too many fights on the side of complexities in that, when it should be DC that are like scrambling to look for fights because their lanes are constantly pushed up by Alchemists. That's why people love the Alchemist. You like pose very little threat to your team because the opposing team is constantly just trying to push out your lanes. But the Equilibrium's almost always on the side of Complexity's River, and that does not bode well for the skirmishes that they want to take.
Well, 37 minutes in now. Score 10-22, DC. It's a very comfortable advantage, but yet to crack the base fully open. They have basically killed a ranged Drax and a tier 3. But
Arcane Rune on Jakiro though. That's like the really low cooldown liquid fire.
So what do we look like? About 3 seconds here.
Yeah, that's a big difference too. And even Guardian Greaves cooldown I think is a big deal because this might be the difference in between him getting it once and twice off in a fight.
Alchemist coming back, but Chemical Rage is about halfway done, so they might not have it for the absolutely critical moments of the siege as they rotate instead onto the bottom side of the map. DC kind of roaming from lane to lane. They leave Jakiro on mid. It's going to push that wave in. Back and forth they go. They're just kind of looking for the opening in here to push in fully. Swindles does have to blink. Look for that big coil combo, and now they have the opportunity to jump. The Chemical Rage online, but the Ice Path is going to prevent Chessie from getting a clean initiation off. Nobody wants to go just yet. That tail Zega, they'll bring the bear down very well. But again, they found Handskin. Wu just seems to have a knack for scouting him out in these fights. The wall, the vacuum gets dropped, but the eggs over the top, the force complexity deck. Chessie's got a turn tail and run. The Aegis still has a bit of time on it left. 2 minutes to go, so DC with an Oracle down, no buyback available. The tower now dropping. They're going to have to scramble the defense here for complexity to hang on and avoid going down to match point in this best of 5 showdown. Weehaw still up in front, still going to work with that Veil, and will break down Chessie. He has to buy back too. Z breaks down as well. That's 4 heroes that make it 5, counting the buyback. Alchemist back into it. They get a back concoction. It's on pretty much everyone, but do they have the follow-up to get kills? No, Chessie, if he goes down again, that's another dieback. Most likely the game he will drop as well. DC just running over Complexity, and Complexity about to be trailing 1-2 in this best of 5. Needing to win 2 in a row to come back. DC gonna have choice going into game 4.
Yeah, Wee's Ice Path. He had the Ice Path on Alk when he had like 1.5 seconds left on the concoction, and he blew himself up, and it turned like an Ice Path into like a 6-second stun. That was ridiculous. But I really like how they run with the Jakiro. It's always Jakiro plus another pusher, and they just put so much pressure on them that maybe it wasn't that easy for Alk to decide whether or not to help his team out. Maybe he felt that his team was going to lose the fight because of all this early damage output from him. And if there was any question